Ain't no half stepping, Marcus J. Thank you so much for hanging in there with us. We are back. Took a very, very, very quick break. We want to get into the Fishbowl with your man Big Rube. It's been a while since we had this segment. I'm glad it's back. I'm glad he's back. Big Rube, take it away, brother. Really, seriously, can we move on from the nonsense? This is socially conscious. Hey.
Earth, Wind, and Fire is socially conscious. And if I want to sing Shining Star in my segment, I can do it.
Did he really just put me in my place? You know what?
He cut your mic off and didn't even touch the button.
Did he really just put me in my place?
He really did.
Tell me why
It'd be different if he could sing, but he sound like a damn fool when he trying to sing.
A damn fool.
But that's okay, but still my segment.
It's your segment, but
I can choose sound like a damn fool.
But you know what? Every segment is my segment.
I do what I want.
Y'all don't hear me trying to sing.
That's because nobody cares anyway.
Never.
That's your fault.
Grizzy's my advocate.
That's your fault.
Let's go, Big Rube.
Big Rube, let's do it. Y'all let us do it. Can't stand him. Go ahead, man.
Good. And you really can't stand me after tonight. All right, everybody. Once again, it's the Fishbowl.
And give us a call at 804-447-0601.
Thank you. Hit us up on the Facebook, on the Twitter. Yo, it's about to get heated up in here. We're going to start with something a little easy, and then we're going to move on to something a little bit more controversial. Gentlemen and people out in the world, how dirty, and I mean really dirty, is this election going to be? Going my man on my left, Jay Grizzy.
It's going to be, honestly, I don't think it's dirty. I think politics is politics, and just like football or any other sport or any other, I mean, you're going to have bad situations. I mean, if you're smart enough to see through all of it, you know what it is. I mean, it's almost like entertainment. It's gonna be dirty, but I don't mind it. I need to know somebody's going. I mean, as much as I didn't like GW was a dirty son. You know, he brought out a whole bunch of topics and subjects that had nothing to do with the election in 2004, and I got him to win over Kerry. So it's gonna be a crazy one, but I don't mind it at all. I mean, that's just politics.
Banks?
You know, it's going to be up to the American people. I really can't say it's going to be clean, dirty, indifferent. It's going to be. My mic just went dead or something.
Yeah,
you're right. Go ahead.
Okay. you scared me there.
No, you're right.
It's just going to be a social media inspired election
Debate.
And that's where it's going to come down to. We have Twitter, we have Instagram, we have Facebook, we have all these things now that can really sway a vote, in my opinion. Used to be the church, and that they were a big focus. Now I see it being more of a social media content and how people will view what's going on with that. So dirty and different, who cares? I still see Obama as a family man. He's been a clean cut candidate. That's just my opinion.
According to Trump, he's still from Uganda.
You know what? Trump needs to shut up with his bankruptcy.
But that's why I don't mind that though.
Well, I mean, my thought on it is it is going to get dirty. It's in the process of getting dirty. Every time one of the candidates makes a valid point, the other one is going to attack them and say that they're playing dirty. The first thing that comes to my mind is the fact that you had presidential candidate, former governor of Massachusetts, Willard Romney, who led a company. Yeah, I don't like the name Mitt. I'm going to call him Willard. Who led a company called Bain Capital. That when he was a businessman, and Bain Capital went out and bought a bunch of companies, a lot of which ended up failing and went belly up. And this is the same guy who is talking about how he's going to be the president who fixes the economy and also creates jobs. When he was the governor, I believe it was the early part of the 2000s, 03 to 07, if I'm not mistaken. His state was 47th out of 50 of creating jobs. 47th out of 50, Mitt Romney was.
You can't talk bad about that.
Well,
it's the facts, though.
It's the facts, and a lot of his companies, of course, that he purchased went belly up. When the current President Obama, took over, they had just lost 4 million jobs. They have since added over 4 million jobs. Also, President Obama helped to bail out the auto industry. And the auto industry, of course, we know could have potentially collapsed.
They was right behind the banks.
They were about to collapse our
They were
economy.
right behind the banks.
Now, the knock on him is going to be that we added a whole bunch of money to our deficit. But had he not done what he done, we may have literally gone into a real life depression.
Oatmeal.
It could have potentially been a real depression. So the fact that they're attacking each other for attacking those two things that I just brought up,
Right.
which to me are very valid things to speak on, to me tells me that it's going to be very contentious, especially when you have people that want to attack the current president on his birther issue, which I think is nonsense. It's a lot of smoke and mirrors that I think a lot of the people on the right side do. They do a lot of smoke and mirrors, whereas a lot of people on the left side are a bunch of punks. Straight
Stand
up.
up
That's
and
the reason
call
why
it
I'm in the middle. I'm an independent because the people on the right, they got a lot of smoke and mirrors. And they want to bring up crap that don't have nothing to do with nothing, like gays getting married. Really, does gays getting married have anything to do with me being able to get a job?
Right.
You know what I mean? They want to bring up the fact that the president may not have been born in America. Really, does that have anything to do with my kid being sick and me not being able to pay for them to get medical attention? So it's a lot of smoke and mirrors on the right side. But on the left side, they ain't no better because they had elections coming up last week, and a lot of them abstained for voting for their own candidate, our current president, when he's the person that is going to be standing in the forefront for their issues.
Right.
But to make a point, they didn't even vote for him.
Right, people
fail
fail
just
to
because
realize.
he's the president doesn't mean that they're not having primaries right
Valid
now.
point.
So you got the right side with smoke and mirrors, and you got the left side a bunch of punks. They don't even stand behind their candidate, and it pisses me off.
Well, I mean, a valid point. Just for people fail to realize when in '08 when Barack got into power, well, not power, but when he won the presidency,
Got the power.
Yeah, power.
yeah, he's in power. When he won the presidency, the
monarch.
Democrats, the Democrats had both houses of Congress. They had the Senate and the House of Representatives, and they had trouble getting. I mean, if one party runs two-thirds of the government and you still don't have enough Balzinis to pass through the legislation you want to pass through because you worried about what the Tea Party is going to say or what the most of the because America is still a conservative
It's because the
country.
Democrats are a bunch of punks.
Right,
That's why.
exactly. And so, there was not enough leaning on from the left to get. I feel what y'all are saying, but here's what
Y'all
I'm
have to
saying.
see
And
how
I'll
frustrated he is.
answer Big Rube's question about how dirty it's going to be. Rube, I think all politics is dirty. You can't get your hand into politics. I.e., look at Bill Clinton. That is the dirtiest of them all, or
I
Richard
don't think
Nixon.
so, but give us a call here, 804-447-0601.
Bill Clinton was the dirtiest politician. I mean, this dude,
it's dirt
if
and
you
all.
look around, a lot of the stuff that you seen with brothers going to jail and all of that kind of stuff with them changing
The mandatory
the
minimums.
mandatory minimums
Right.
where you can have powder cocaine in your pocket, you might get probation. You got a little itty bitty tiny crack rock, you getting 5
years.
years. Who you think was the president that signed the bill for that?
Exactly.
Your Democratic first black president, Bill Clinton.
I didn't say that one time. Politics is
Nonsense.
all about compromise.
Fired
But right
up, y'all.
now, the fervor in Washington right now, the atmosphere, nobody wants to get anything done. There's two ends of the political spectrum. There's no in the middle, and then the ones that in the middle are getting bled out by all this nonsense from the extreme left and the extreme right. And there's people out here that's hurting. Big Root.
Well, wow. I didn't think this would get this much heat. That's what I'm talking about. My opinion is it is dirty. It's going to be dirty. And by the fact that you have two presidential candidates who haven't served a lick of time in the military, it's still dirty. So it's not, I went to the Vietnam War. You're not going to hear none of that. It's going to be, yeah, I ran a state. And we were quiet, but we were terrible. Hey, I didn't run a state, but I ran the country. All right, we didn't get any awards. I mean, that's what you're going to hear back and forth. Personal opinion, I think that politics have gone way to social media. I think that sometimes, don't get it twisted, I think Barack Obama is a good president. Sometimes he talks way too much. I think he needs to shut up sometime and just be the president.
And in what way?
And in what way? I mean,
Just
I'm
Bogart and do everything.
Hey, I am on record on ain't no half stepping. The Trayvon Martin situation. I'm sorry for the loss. We need to make sure that things are done. Him saying if I had a son, he would look like Trayvon.
Right.
Overstep presidential bounds.
No.
Hold on.
Hey.
Well,
Let him get in.
Listen to me. As a man, as a father, I can feel that. You know, him being a father, I can feel him saying that. However, as the president of the United States, he shouldn't have said that because he has simply put himself in the middle of that situation. I understand he has his own opinion, but sometimes you just got to shut up.
Here's what you're missing. You said, and you're right. You're right. I agree with you on that point if you're basing it on that. But he's the first black president of the United States.
Just because he's black, blue, Puerto Rican, or Asian, that does not give him the right.
No, you got to look
in the middle of an event that he was not a part of.
You got to look at the 240-year history, 230-year history of this country. For a minority to be president of the United States is a feat in of itself. But to still, after civil rights, slavery, Jim Crow, all of this, to still have what happened down in Florida happen, just because the melanin in your skin won't allow you not to say something about it. I don't care if you're president, mayor, whatever. You had to say something about it because it was on the first. It was in the news. I mean, if you don't have to be president, it's in the news.
And the other thing with that, and Ruben and I went back and forth on this at the time. It's not like he came out and had a press conference and made a statement.
He was asked the question.
He was asked the question. And should the president of the United States not have an opinion on something that's going on and is on the minds of most of Americans? Why would there be a problem with him having an opinion? Do you have an opinion with him? Do you have a problem with him having an opinion on gay marriage? Because a lot of people got upset with him about him coming out and saying he supported it. He supported it as an individual, as a person, not as the commander-in-chief. And at the end of the day, he can't do nothing about it one way or the other. He don't have the power to do nothing about it one way or the other. He gave his opinion as an individual, as an American citizen. Is there a problem with Big Rube giving his opinion on Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J? If we had the president calling on this show and he gave his opinion, would you have a problem with him giving his opinion? The whole thing with gay marriage is a civil rights issue. It ain't got nothing to do with the Bible. It's a civil rights issue. You can't tell people they can't do what they want to do, and you can't tell this president he can't have an opinion on a story that's on the minds of many Americans.
I can, and I just did. I feel like that. And this is the reason why I feel that way. It's because, like businesses, if a business supports a certain thing and they come out saying they support a certain thing, that could positively or negatively affect their business. You can't, in a business world, you can't take sides like that. Hold on. You can't, because it's either going to help you or it's going to hurt you. Simple as that. If, like old boy in Whitney's funeral. What's
Bobby
his name?
Brown?
No.
Kevin Costner?
No.
Mario Winans?
No. It wasn't Whitney's funeral. It was the head of Nike.
Paul Knight?
When he said, whose funeral was it? It was somebody.
Steve Jobs.
It was Steve Jobs' funeral. When he said what he said, his stock plummeted. Nike stock plummeted. But that's not the. But I understand that. But what you say affects everything that you invest yourself in. I'm not saying he shouldn't have an opinion. I'm saying that you should vocalize your opinion to yourself and not to everybody else. And he doesn't have to answer every question that comes out.
He's the president. You got the right to do whatever I'm the president. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say what I want. If there's one knock I would have to say about President Obama right now, or the first couple of years of his office, he tried to appease people that he could not appease no matter what. He couldn't appease the right. He couldn't appease the Tea Party. He couldn't appease the Republicans in Congress. You want to call these congressmen in to have a meeting to call them out to negotiate the health care bill. They didn't want that. They don't want those Republicans don't want to share a doctor's office with poor people. It has nothing to do with color. It's poor people. It's the rich want to stay rich. They want to, and I don't even think they want to keep the poor down, but they fail to realize, dummies, that with you trying to stay rich 24/7, you're not letting anybody else come up to get some of that as well. But rest assured, best believe the numbers don't lie. You can look at the 2010 census. You can keep all the money you want. The numbers are going to catch up to you.
All right.